Value of x in the following exponential equation. So the first one says 25 power x minus 26 in bracket 5 power x plus 25 equals 0. Something about this kind of problem is that whenever it is given in this form, with a number in a bracket there's a certain power as an unknown, it's most of the time it turns into a quadratic equation. So let's see how that works. So we can start by putting this 25. It's just 5 times 5, that's 25, which is 5 squared. So you can replace this 25 with 5 squared in the bracket, then the power x. So 25 is just 5 squared in the bracket, then the power x minus 26 in bracket 5 power x plus 25 equals 0. So we can interchange these powers as 5 power 2 in a bracket s power x can be interchanged as 5 power x in bracket s power 2. So by interchanging we get 5 power x in bracket, then square outside, minus 26 into 5 power x in bracket plus 25 equals 0. So something is common here. What's common is that it's 5 power x in bracket, 5 power x, 5 power x. So you can substitute it with an alphabet. So in this case, let's use p. Let p be equals to 5 power x. Call this equation 1. So what this tells is that whenever we see a 5 power x, we can substitute with a p. So in this case, 5 power x in a bracket, we put p in that bracket, then the square outside, minus 26 in a bracket, p 5 power x plus 25 equals 0. So we can clear out the brackets and we'll be left with p squared minus 26 p plus 25 equals 0. So this is a quadratic equation and we can solve using any of the 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. It might be factorization method, using the quadratic formula, graphical method, or completing square. But for this video, let us use factorization method. So using factorization method, we need two numbers that when added together will result in a negative 26, and when multiplied together will result in a positive 25. So for this example, those two numbers are negative 25 and a negative 1, because negative 25 plus negative 1, that's negative 26, and a negative 25 times a negative 1, negative will cancel and it will result in a positive 25. So we can replace this negative 26 with a negative 25p minus 1p, that's just basically p, plus this 25 equals 0. So we can factor something is common here and it's p, so we can factor p outside, p in a bracket. After factoring a single p here, we'll be left with a p minus 25, then something is common here, that's minus 1 in bracket, p minus 25 equals 0, because if you clear out the bracket it will resolve back into a negative p plus 25. So moving on, p into p minus 25 bracket minus 1 into p minus 25 equals 0. So p minus 25 is common, so you can take 1, p minus 25, then the two numbers outside the brackets are p minus 1, then in bracket again p minus 1 equals 0. So either p minus 25 equals 0, or p minus 1 equals 0. So when p minus 25 equals 0, this implies that p is equals to positive 25. Or when p minus 1 is equals to 0, this implies that p is equals to 1. But remember, if we say our equation 1, we said p is equals to 5 power x. So when p is 25, this implies that 25 is equals to 5 power x, and 25 is nothing but 5 squared. So 5 squared will be equals to 5 power x. So here the bases are equal. We can equate the exponents. So in this case, 2 is equals to x. This implies that x is equals to 2 when p is 25. So when p is 1, when p is equals to 1, this implies that 1 is equals to 5 power x. As in our equation 1, you say p is equals to 5 power x. When p is equals to 1, this implies that 1 is equals to 5 power x. And nothing suitable as the value of p will result into a 1 but 0, because if we substitute a 0 in this expression, 5 power x, if we substitute the value of x to be 0, it will be 5 power 0, which will be true as power 1. So x will be equals to 0, because 1 is equals to 5 power 0. 5 power 0 is equals to 1. So either x is equals to 2 or x is equals to 0. That's the two solutions. So moving on to the second example, I have 4 power x plus 2 power x plus 1 equals to 8. So something we can do here is that we can subtract 8 from both sides. So this positive 8 cancels this negative 8. We will be left with 4 power x plus 2 power x plus 1 minus 8 equals 0. So 4 is just 4 is equals to 2 times 2, which is just 2 squared. So you can substitute here as 2 squared in a bracket, then the power x plus 2 power x plus 1 minus 8 equals 0. So we can interchange as we did before, with the x in the bracket and 2 outside. So we can write this as 2 power x in the bracket, then the square outside, plus 2 power x plus 1 minus 8 equals 0. So 2 power x plus 1 can be written as 2 power x times 2 power 1, because using this law, a power m plus n is equals to a power m times a power n. So that's just the law. It's one of the laws of exponents. So we can apply it here. This will be 2 power x squared outside plus 2 power x dot 2 power 1 multiply power minus 8 equals 0. So we can factor 2 power x in the bracket so that it should be similar to this. So this will result into a 2 power x squared plus this 2 power 1 is just 2 in bracket 2 power x minus 8 equals 0. So something is common here, and that's 2 power x. So we can substitute it as we did earlier with any alphabet. So in this case, let q be equals to 2 power x. So by substituting q, wherever we see 2 power x, it will be q 2 power x squared plus 2 into q in bracket, because clearing out the bracket, we'll have q squared plus 2q minus 8 equals 0, and this is a quadratic equation. So We can use any of the methods of solving a quadratic equation, but for this example, let's use the quadratic formula, which says, in this example, q is equal to minus b plus o minus square root of b square minus bracket 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. So in this case, the coefficient of q square is a, the coefficient of q is b, and the last number is c. So the coefficient of q square is just 1. Yeah, coefficient of q is 2, and the last number is c. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to 2, and c is equal to negative 8. So you can substitute directly into the formula. This will result in q is equal to minus b, that's minus 2, plus or minus square root of b squared, that's 2 squared, minus in bracket 4 times a is 1, times c is negative 8, divided by 2 times a, and a is 1. So using a calculator, we will get q is equal to, creating it in calculator, we get q is equal to minus 2 plus or minus whatever is inside the bracket, result into a square root of 36 all over 2 times 1, that's 2. This implies that q is equal to negative 2 plus or minus square root of 36, that's 6 over 2. So when we take the positive sign, it will be q is equal to minus 2 plus 6, that's 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 4 over 2, that's 2. Or when we take the negative sign, it will be minus 2 minus 6, that's q is equal to minus 8 over 2, minus 8 over 2, that's minus 4. But remember, according to our equation 1, we'll go to write equation 1. According to this equation, q is equal to 2 power x. When q is 2, this implies that when q is equal to 2, this implies that 2 is equal to 2 power x, and 2 is just 2 power 1. So the bases are equal. By equating the exponents, we get 1 is equal to x. It implies that x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1, then q is equal to 2. So when q is equal to negative 4, this implies that negative 4 is equal to 2 power x. But no any value of x will satisfy this equation to be 2 power that value results into a negative 4. So we will just consider this answer, q is equal to 1 only, because this will not satisfy the equation to be equals to minus 4 equals to 2 power x. So x is equal to 1. That's the final answer. Thanks for watching.